All right, folks, I'm running a 60-second ad break. And when that ad break is over, then our stream begins. You know the deal. We're going to have a fun evening tonight, finishing up the Char Zaku 2 V2 Master Grade. And then we'll get started on the Amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon. An older kit, a new kit from last year. It looks absolutely fantastic. Excited to work on that kit. And of course, to hang out with everybody and you know, see what's going on, talk about stuff. It's Manga Monday. Got some anime to chat with you about. A fun evening will be had by all. I don't know, maybe not all. Most, some. A fine evening will be had by some. We could say that. Run this 60-second ad break, which is wrapping up in just a second or two, and then we'll begin our stream properly. So get ready for it, because it is coming your way. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit, 2 model kits in fact, and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes, or another option. If you just want to be a lurker, you can not say anything and just hang out, and that's okay as well. We got John saying, I'm here for a fun evening. Hell yeah. Ghost Valve and Lashbrook all here. Welcome, welcome. Got some regulars here in the chat. Love to see that. Always happy to have the regulars. Of course, if this is your first time watching the stream, hello. Hi. I'm Pat Baer and I build model kits and Lego sets. I'm working on a model kit from 2007 that had some very frustrating components, but looks really good. And we're going to build a couple more weapons for it, and then we'll call it a stream. We'll call it a build being done. And then we'll continue on with the stream by working on another piece of kit that I'm very excited about. That won my, hey, what expensive model kit should I buy poll. And so I used some gift cards to buy a very expensive model kit. And now we're going to build that. There was no, my $10 patrons often get to vote on what I build next. They had no say in this. I was just going to build it because I really want to. It probably would have won the poll, but maybe it wouldn't have, right? Maybe it wouldn't have. Then what do I do? Just bummed out, I guess. So couldn't let that happen. Let's see. What are we doing now here? Got some polycaps right here. Okay, got that. I got that. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good here. Got a few friends joining us. Hopefully a few more friends will join us in the future. That would be nice. And let's get into it. I'm going to go to the overhead right now. As you can see, here is our friend, our Char Zaku 2 V2 Master Grade. We body completed the kit. I had lost a couple of these. They were, unfortunately for me, very easy to find because they fell on the top of my PC case instead of falling onto the carpet below that. So I was able to get those very easily, put these back, and then I used liquid cement to hopefully lock this in place so that I don't have to deal with it later. Hey, Lord Crashton, welcome. So we got our axe here. We got our shield. We did one dry transfer, which if I bend the shield, it looks perfect. I didn't do a particularly great job with that. But I also haven't used a dry transfer in quite some time, so I was feeling a little rusty. But yeah, we're basically body complete on this kit. You can see the back of it. Looks like a goddamn action figure. It was a very fun build. We'll put that aside there. And we got some components here to put together to see what's what. So let's get a machine gun built, and then we'll get a we'll finish the machine gun, and then we'll build a bazooka. Oh, and a lift. I'm sorry, we're working on the weapons. There's one other thing that we can work on this build, which is putting together. Is this the right one? That's not the right one. Okay. We can put together the machine gun. We can put together the bazooka, and then there's the lift. This kit comes with a little thing. How the pilots would get into the cockpit is by this little device. It's an extra little bit of bonus kit that like it's an odd inclusion. I don't dislike the inclusion of it. I think it's kind of neat to have. But when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, sure. So this is gonna go. Where is it? All right, so I go like that. We need J5 and J11. These weapons aren't too detailed. I mean, they got some details on it, but they're not difficult. If it had been any night besides a Saturday, I might have stayed to finish this. You know, I might have just done a long stream had this been a Monday or a Tuesday. But because this was a Saturday that we basically wrapped on this, I had to cut that short because I don't want to call it a pressing engagement. I just have a thing at 11 on Saturdays that I like doing, which is watching the West Coast feed of AEW Collision. I like finishing off that. So, did that. Let's see. Put this here. Put this here. And then this goes like that. There we... Why are you like that? Like that? Where do you need to slide? Why is this being weird? It's being strange, friends. I was just about to say that this wouldn't be difficult at all. And I get to this part and it just doesn't want to cooperate. Is it this little nub in here? Can't be that. It can't be that. But there is something weird going on. Oh, it goes like this. Okay, there we go. I don't know why that was giving me so many problems, but it was. I was very surprised to be running into issues with this kit right there, of all parts. Hey, so Awesome Games Done Quick started, and I haven't kept up live with it as much as I would like to. So I'm afraid I've watched it mostly on what is being slowly uploaded to their YouTube channel. Because they do put just about everything up on YouTube. So I do try to mostly keep up that way. So I can't recommend anything like coming up or anything that's happening, you know, like what, you know, transpired this afternoon or anything. But I can give you just like my brief overview of a few things that stood out to me of what I watched today while doing other things and sometimes paying full attention, other times just kind of zoning out. And if you've seen anything from Awesome Games Done Quick that you would like to give a shout out to, you're like, oh, Pat, you should keep your eyes for this, or this is already on the YouTube, or I just watched this on Twitch, let me know. I'd love to hear from you about that. All right, so we got to do this, and then, oh, I guess cut just goes wherever. Okay. The first one is a quick one. This is a speed run race between two people that was completed in 8 minutes 56 seconds by Yelzarek and Ellipsis with their and I give a shout out to their couch friend Flannel Cat, who we have rated before, who I met on a that one weird time I did a race. I did a GDQ not game for GDQ's streaming channel, but not obviously a Games Done Quick, just one of their bonus things. I was involved in that. I got invited to do it. I have not been invited to one since, which is fine. I was surprised to be invited. I'll say that. But anyway, Flannel Cat was on the couch. Flannel Cat is great. So I was pleased to see Flannel Cat get a shout out there. Marble Madness 2 is what I should have said in the beginning and then just didn't get around to saying until right now. So yeah, Marble Madness 2, an unreleased video game that made its way onto the internet 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and it was a race and done in 9 minutes. They have kind of broken apart this seemingly finished but maybe not actually finished video game, and it's a compelling thing to watch them play this game that is definitely feels like Marble Madness but also doesn't look like Marble Madness. I don't know, it's a game that I knew existed, but I haven't really watched anything. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I thought that was kind of cool. J14 and J1. We're going on the bazooka right now. Here's a classic, Mega Man 3 by KLM 1187 in 50 minutes and 10 seconds. And that is just a classic speed run, right? There's nothing like, I mean, it's impressive to watch, but it's not like groundbreaking. It's just like, yeah, it's Mega Man 3. Watch someone beat Mega Man 3 in under an hour. That is a game that I sunk in hours and hours and hours. And I don't think I'm good at Mega Man games, but I did I did pretty well playing that game, considering that I never thought I was very good at it. So I think that's a really fun one to check out. Tunic by Radicoon in 21 minutes and 42 seconds. I sunk hours and hours into Tunic and enjoyed every minute of it. That is a game that, like, it feels strange to have that game be a speed run game. You know what I mean? Like, there's just something about it that I'm like, oh yeah, people are going to play this very fast. It just feels a little weird. I like it. I like the idea of speed running it, but it does strike me as odd. Of all the things to play, it is fun to watch that game. Like, obviously there's skips and some other things and some tricks and all that, but mostly it's just like knowing the solutions, doing well in combat. It's a good watch. Typing of the Dead by Peaches in 28 minutes 56 seconds. Like, I'm not a great typer, but I feel like I could get good at that game. I feel like if there was a game that I could get good at for speedrunning, it would be Typing the Dead. Because I used to be pretty okay at Typing the Dead casually, let alone speedrunning. Like, I feel like, I don't know. Maybe that is a unbelievable hubris on my part to think that if there was a game that I could, like, spend time getting good at for a speed run, that it would be Typing of the Dead. I will say, I think it would be a fun game to do. It would, at the very least, it would be a fun experience to try to get decent at that game. I was putting this on wrong, so I'm going to do it properly. And the last one, Cassette Beast by Corvime, I believe. In 39 minutes and 28 seconds at any percent seed run. So once you beat the game, there is a bonus mode with seeds, and you just basically, like, seed the game, and the seeds, basically the person who's doing this has come up with a program to help seed the game, to produce a seed that allows for it to be consistent. It adds some consistency. It's not fully consistent, but it does add some, and that makes it an easier game to speed run. And I need to watch more Cassette Beasts, because I don't think I knew enough about how cool that game is. It seems fucking rad as hell. I would like to play a bit more or watch more of people, like, playing that damn game. I don't know, it just seems neat. Last one says, I played that game in an arcade the other week. It's a lot harder on Japanese keyboard typing, Romanized Japanese. Yes, Lastbrook, I would imagine Typing of the Dead in Romanized Japanese, if you don't know it, would be very frustrating. It might be a bad time. Way harder, certainly, yeah. But yeah, I haven't given Cassette Beast enough of a look. I would like to check out more of that game, because it does seem pretty fucking rad. All right, we're going to put this on here. Just make sure this was J3. Yep. All right, that goes in there. Oh, and then I need J9 and J17. Using up all of the J's here. Has anybody watched any AGDQ? If you checked out any of the streams, I would love to hear it. Lasper says it wasn't a bad time, speaking of typing the dead in Japanese, but I never did get good enough to get the second level. I hear you. And Mjo says my rudimentary Japanese knowledge would have been finally been worth something. Yeah, possibly. Or you know just enough to make it really annoying when you don't do well with it. To be like, oh, I should be doing better. But yeah, has anybody checked out anything from Awesome Games Done Quick? Obviously, you know, we're fairly light into it, so I'm not saying like how good none of you have watched any of this. You know, just asking. If anybody's checked anything out, I'd love to hear it. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Yeah, I do need to watch some live. I haven't. I have some friends there, some of whom were speed running, and of course I'll try to watch their speed runs live, but at the very least check them out after. And I know a few people that are just hanging out. GDQ is kind of like their vacation. The GDQs, and they go and hang out, and because they're people that want to speed run more or just deep in the community, so they go and hang out, which is neat. I have not been to a Games Done Quick. I'd like to go at some point, but I don't know. Ghostfowl says, I missed a fair amount so far. I caught some DK64. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did. That is on my short list of things to check out. I have not checked out that yet, but I will. All right, so it goes in there. And then this goes in here. Yeah. Oops. This keeps falling off, and I'm not quite sure how to put this on so it doesn't fall off. All right, that'll work. Great. All right, that's it as far as weapons go. Now it's all. This gotta go on. All that's left is to build the lift, the person mover. We have a lovely illustration there, you know, what the lift looks like, and then we can see in action. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that's how Char gets into his Zaku too. A fun little thing. So yeah, we might as well build the lift. You know, we're not race. Haven't seen anything yet, so I'll check out the YouTube archive later this week. Hell yeah! I mean, they put stuff up. Occasionally, some stuff takes a little while to come up because of sound issues and what have yous. But for the most part, I believe everything goes up like, you know, pretty consistently. They have a crew working on it, but you know, which makes sense. The priority is the live stream, and then the YouTube uploads and the shorts. Sometimes the YouTube uploads remind people, hey, GDQ is happening, because they're not on, they don't have the pulse. They like it, but they don't pay enough attention to like the scheduling. So sometimes the Sunday videos going up is like somebody's call to be like, oh shit, I gotta watch this. Or the clips that go around social media also have an effect on that as well. Dirty says, no AGDQ, but I did watch The Day After Tomorrow because of the 17 F temps today. Okay, yeah, all right. That makes some sense. All right, so this goes like this, and this is going to fit into that. So I just need to line this up properly here. And then it should just snap together. But the fact that it's not, is it because I'm doing it wrong? Yeah. Turns out the reason why it wasn't working right is because I wasn't doing it properly. It's weird how that goes sometimes, where you're like, oh, I'm screwing this up, therefore it's not working. Wild. Put some wheels on this thing. We got some tiny parts. These are like the tiniest pieces on this kit. That's fun. Get all these out. Put some wheels on it. And then what other step do you want me to do? J8. Okay, put J8 on there. This is... oh, I8, not J. I, A, and 8. Put on there. Let's see. Me today, your friend Pat, what was I fucking doing today? A lot of yard work. Trying to get a bunch of stuff done My folks are leaving for Florida on Friday, so we were trying to get a bunch of things done before they go. We're going to Costco tomorrow to buy a bunch of stuff to fill the freezer with things, so that I don't have to go to I don't have to order grocery shopping stuff all that often, at least for a while. Just try to stock up on some stuff. But yeah, I'm trying to get a lot done so we can go to the neighborhood dump and send stuff there. So I was just doing a lot of yard work. It wasn't that cold today. It's going to get colder. So I felt like, well, if it's not super cold here, and it's cold for South Carolina, but it's not like the cold I am used to. But I have been here long enough that, I'm still relatively cold. It's like, cold is still cold, even if my bones are like, yeah, come on, Pat, what are you talking about? This ain't cold. What are we even doing? You remember cold, Pat. This is nothing. And it's like, yeah, but you get used to it. So anyway, I did a lot of that, and then I wanted to take a nap, but then didn't take a nap because I had some work to get done today. But it is what it is. You had low of 38 this week. Dang. Okay, yeah, we're not that. Just got back to double-digit wind chills. Supposed to be 70 on Thursday. Lashbrook, 70 sounds great. Yeah, I mean, it's just been like the wind did pick up. We did have some goddamn wind around here, which was annoying. But, yeah, for the most part, it's just like, yeah, it just is what it is. It's not the biggest deal in the world. High of 15 today, says Lucretia. And that is, yeah, that's cold. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that. I don't have those problems. I have I'm trying to get stuff done out here, and it's kind of miserable. It ain't bad. Yeah, most of it is prep. They're leaving on Friday, so on Friday I will be spending some of my day moving all my gear here out into the Carolina room, the bonus room. That is the thing that I normally do. Okay, so is it the bend part or is it the tall part? I think it's the bend part goes like that. And then the bend part goes like that because it would want to go. Okay, so I would do the reverse because it wants to fold up. That makes sense because it's a riser, so you want it to rise. And then this goes in here. It's a lift. It's a scissor lift, kind of. Yeah. So you got to have it lift up. And then I got to build the rest of it. We're almost done with this. But yeah, I'm getting ready. Friday, I'll move all my stuff out there, set up, get everything going. It takes a while to do all this setup because I have to move 2 tables and arrange them properly, move all of my gear slowly to set it up properly, and then test the overhead camera and set that up and make it look okay. And then when that's set and everything is where I want it, then I build, which is like the last step and least difficult, I build my set behind it, which is I have a bookshelf that I move, and then I put model kits on the top of that bookshelf, which is a version of this setup, but it just stays there, and I don't have to tear it down at the end of every stream like I do here, because this one is on my bed, and so it's got to come down every day. So I'll be setting all that up for Friday, so that Saturday's stream is in the new location, temporary new location with wired internet, and it'll look good. And this thing broke, and that sucks. One of the very last pieces for this kit has broken, but I should be able to repair it pretty easily. Don't worry about it. We'll get that taken care of here. So this goes like this and slides in. It looks like that. And then we'll do this. We might not even have to do any gluing or any repairing. We might be able to just shove it in there and have it look slightly broken and have that be okay because it's just wear and tear. Yeah, you can't even tell. We know that there's a snap here that shouldn't be snapped, but you can't even tell that. It's fine. 70 would be fine if it wasn't such a whiplash. Yes, the whiplash will definitely get to the jumping will definitely set people's bodies off, and also, anything. Sometimes in 70-degree weather in January, sometimes your plants are just like, "Hey, we're alive. What? It's spring," and it's like, "No, no, 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 get out of there." 30 says back to a high 60s on Thursday, the mid 20s again on Saturday. Yeah, that's rough. That's like don't leave the house because your body's just not cooperating with dealing with that kind of weather. All right, so we do have our lift here. You can see if this kit stands up. Whoops. Well, we'll lay it down, I guess. I guess that's the best way to do it is if this kit is laying down, you can imagine that the lift would be able to raise it up to, to the chest area, like this. That's kind of the idea. That it comes back up, and you can do that. Because you can't really tell from the overhead camera. But the lift is a fun little extra bit of business amongst this kit. And that's it. That is the V2. Char Zaku 2, version 2. A good build that I am happy to have completed. GG, yes, indeed. Good Gundam, yeah. We had our share of nightmares with this kit. The beads, in particular, were constantly very frustrating. On Sunday, when I went to or Saturday, I should say, when I went to finally assemble, realized I had messed up a piece and it wouldn't connect, and I had to take things apart, which luckily was not that difficult. But yeah, so some ups and some downs with this build, but overall, the finished product is really strong. I'm really happy that it turned out the way it did. And yeah, this is a very competent master grade. They were making some choices with this that I think are overall pretty fantastic. And I was happy to work on it. I'm going to take a photo of it. And I'm going to use this lighting. Change the lighting that works better for photography. And then we'll switch back to the better overhead lighting for the streams. Great. That's a build. Put that aside. We don't need to look at that. Put this right here. Take this there. And then pop this on. Turn this off. Booyah! It's time to work on the amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon, what does that mean? It means that, oops, as I go to grab these things, this kit is amplified line is a chance for Bandai designers to get weird with it. So this is not card accurate. Duel Monsters accurate. It's not anime accurate. It's not manga accurate. It is a free form chance for them to just get buck wild and weird with it. These instructions are letting me know that this kit has undergating, so I'll have to keep out for that like a real grade. It is no stickers. We will be using, I don't know what color I want to use here. We will panel line this. Is black going to be too dramatic on this, or is gray not going to pop? I don't know. I'm going to do the tail here a little bit. I'm going to hit the tail. Because the tail will be hidden a bit. I mean, another way to do it is to just do the actual thing. You just kind of hit thing here a little bit and take a look, but I do like doing it on pieces. So that's going to be gray, and then I can do kind of clean up the whole thing here. Just hit. I think I'm going to do black. I think I'm just going to do black because I don't mind if these panel lines are a little dramatic because this kit is pretty dramatic. So yeah, I think I'm just going to do black on this because it's gray I would normally do on a white kit, but this kit is not white. This is like a silver gray. So traditionally I would do black on that. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen here. I think I'm just going to go with black on everything. It's not going to need a lot of color to look really dramatic, because it's the blue eyes. It's the blue eyes white dragon. Even if the base color isn't that white, it's still, you know, it's got blue. Hey, guess what, friends? It's got blue eyes. Don't worry about it. If you're like Pat, doesn't include blue eyes because there's no stickers here. So there's a little bit of color, but it's mostly going to be this true off-white here. Also, I haven't even looked at these yet. I opened it. I haven't looked at it yet. This feels weird. This is PVC. Right? Is that what these are? I'm going to double check. Right? Yeah, these are PVC wings. This is it's like this rubber. It feels rubberized. It's got an odd feel to it, but these are going to be to give definition to our wings, and it's going to look fucking great color-wise. I'm very excited about these things. I think they just look so cool. I'm going to put them back in the plastic here, just as a protection here for a bit. But we're starting with the head, so we can get going on that. And there's a wire, and I don't know why. There's a wire that comes with this kit. Oh, it also comes with a stand. It comes with a clear stand. Dig in, show you. Which is great. I love a stand. I like a clear stand. It is your traditional stand, so we can use this for other things. But it's great because I'm probably going to display this when it's done. I don't know if it's going to join my regular rotation, but it'll certainly be part of the build out there in the Carolina room. And so it coming with a stand is great because, nice to have. And there's two different ways to display it, and we'll figure that out as we get there. But we got to start with the head. We're just going to start there. Begin at the beginning, as they say. Oh, also, there are some polycaps here. There are only 6 polycaps, though. And that is fairly standard for this line. That's, very straightforward here. So, pretty straightforward kit. Just going to have a good time building it. Thank you for coming along for the ride as we go. And we're doing our first pieces here. I need A12 and A4. Working on the head. Get this going. In the second hour, we're going to do Manga Monday. I'll talk about a manga that I have been reading. We'll talk about 2 anime episodes that I watched. The end. We'll end with some games talk and all that. Is there anything? Talked about that I want to talk about. Let's see some news here. Some gaming news. Not too much gaming news today. A big one. I don't know if this is big. GameStop is closing its NFT marketplace, which has been existing for about 1.5 years. You may remember that they started up their own NFT marketplace. Yes, your gaming apes are definitely in trouble, so watch out for those. Okay, so this went like this, and then we're gonna put that in there. Oh, with the tongue, we're adding the tongue, everybody. Don't freak out. We're putting a tongue on this thing. Yes. Let's see. GameStop declared its intention to get in that Web 3.0. In an update just posted to its NFT site, the company declared that it's all going to be wound down. Let's see. GameStop declares that continuing regulatory uncertainty of the crypto space means it's time to abandon it. Like literally, they're like, oh, this unregulated thing, turns out it's unregulated. GameStop has decided to wind down our NFT marketplace due to the continuing regulatory uncertainty of the crypto space. Effective of February 2nd, 2024, So less than a month's notice. Customers will no longer be able to buy, sell, or create NFTs. Your NFTs are on the blockchain and will remain accessible and saleable through other platforms. So you can still obviously sell your worthless apes and your other NFTs, but you can't buy them or sell them on that marketplace. Sorry, you goobers. Your investment in in GameStop NFTs is apparently that was a bad bid on your part. Who could have imagined? Who could have imagined this? All right, I put a tongue in this thing. This thing's got a tongue now. That's weird. It's weird to say. Finally got out of the scam. Yep. This is also you may remember that that GameStop had was doing crypto. They were trying to do crypto wallet stuff. Um, uh, Last year, and that is also the reason why they got out of that. But yeah, it looks like they are getting out of the crypto. So you're saying to yourself, Pat, well, this means that they're finally seeing the light, and they're going to double down on something else. They're going to find something else going on out there to invest in. So I don't have any authority on this, right? I don't have any news sources on this. I don't have any insider information that can tell you anything. But let's just assume that GameStop is going to have some kind of AI bullshit by the summer, right? When they do, you can look back at this and go, Pat was right. Pat called it in January 2024 that GameStop is going to get into AI, and they've got like who knows what they would do with AI and what they would use it for, but they're definitely going to fucking get into AI. Now, do I know that for certain? Of course not. Of course I don't know that. I don't have inside information. But like, doesn't it feel very plausible and likely and exactly the kind of nonsense? Maybe I'm saying 6 months and I am being too generous. Maybe it'll take them even fucking longer to remember that there are other scams out there they could get into. H1. I need H1. H1 is down here. H1 is one of our connector pieces here. So got to get H1 in there to do its thing. I don't know. That news story was just like, oh, fucking course. I'd kind of forgotten about GameStop having a NFT marketplace. But yeah, sorry. Another gaming news story. This is for our UK viewers. We have a couple of you. You don't watch live because my timing doesn't work, but I do know I have at least one of y'all that does check in from time to time and check out the VODs. So hello, and hello to VOD watchers in general, but especially to folks. All right, so there's a nubbin here. We want the nubbin to go there on that side. Make sure that I'm doing this properly. Just making sure because I don't know how much give this kit has. And I don't want to fuck up anything. This is as you may remember, as I've been saying over and over again, this is a fucking expensive model kit. This, if you're unaware, I guess I should say that. I didn't say that. And I guess I should say that. This is the expensive model kit that was voted by viewers that I should be working on, that I should buy and work on. I put the poll out. This won the poll. I did not think it would. I thought the Zaku Warrior live concert version was going to win. I did not expect it for this to win. I am happy it did because I think this kit is fucking gorgeous and looks cool as hell. So I'm very excited that it won the poll, but I did not expect it to win the poll. But it also is expensive. And so I purchased this kit with gift cards. That is what I do every year is I I pool all of the gift cards I get at the end of the year for model kits and stuff for Amazon gift cards, and then I buy something with a poll to let people help decide what it should be, and this is what won. So now we're working on it, and it is very detailed. It looks fucking rad already. So we're going to need that piece. Then we're also going to need the eyes. And then we're going to put on sides of the head here with some little spikes in there. So we can do that. So we do these sides as well. But yeah, I'm going to try to be very careful with this kit because I don't want any problems. So UK viewers. Might want to know a very mostly monotone model. Yeah, I mean, it's got some highlights, but it's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. You know, they're getting weird on how it looks, not the color of it. UK's biggest gaming store is rumored to be ending trade-ins. So if you go to Game, capital letters, GAME, if you go to Game, and that's where you do all your trade-ins, because you're still buying physical media and you're still trading in, just know that's going to be, that might be coming to an end. Game might be getting out of the game trading. So buyer beware. Hey, some clear parts, friends. We do have some clears. We got some clears here. G11 and G9. G9 goes here. All right. G9 goes there. G11. All right. Game not taking in, no game. Yes, Game might stop taking in. Staff members apparently have been telling Eurogamer this. This is Game. They plan to do that. Game is to UK as GameStop is to the US. It's been around since 1992 and was bought by Electronic Boutique in 1999. And all EBs at that time changed their name to Game. And I do know a couple people that lost their jobs when that buyout happened because they worked for one and suddenly didn't work for the other, which sucks. Because they were like, oh, we're not going to close any stores. And it's like, well, weren't we competing stores? Do you need to have competing stores now? Hey, there should be a better way to put this mouth in before you build it. I don't know how, but getting this piece in here feels like it's going to be hard. Can I open this up anymore? Okay, I can get a little wider here. That might make things easier. Okay, that did make things a bit easier. All right, so give him credit for that. Purple mouth, blue eyes. Hey, turns out this kid's got blue eyes. Big old blue eyes. So, yeah. In 2012, the game went into administration. So that was, it survived 10 years of being in a bad shape. And apparently, they were having trouble getting stock from game publishers. Game publishers were wary of the company 10 years ago. And of course, the big way to save it that people thought of was Funko Pops and Pokemon cards and board games. And now things have not improved for them. And so now they're thinking about getting out of the trade-in business, which you'd have to imagine probably doesn't have the return on investment that they would like, but possibly does bring people in that otherwise wouldn't be coming into the store. So it's like, is it a loss leader? Is it worth it? I mean, obviously not. I don't know. I don't have the numbers. I'm not looking at the books. I can't tell you. But my in my untrained opinion, it's like, that seems like it's probably not gonna go great. Let's see. I don't really have any more details about this. But yeah, we don't know if it's going to be a trend for game stores worldwide or just very specific to game, but it's interesting to see. It's something to keep an eye on. And of course, no official word. This is just Eurogamer getting some information from staff at Game. So again, we can't be certain of it. All right, I got to figure out how this goes on here. These parts are small, and as I said, one of them is clear, so that does make it a little difficult to see how. Okay, it goes like that. All right. It does make it a little difficult to see how this goes on. And then maybe I should panel line this before I put this on. I probably should. I probably should panel line the head and then attach these parts because it'd be easier for me to panel line. All right. So we'll get out our black marker, start hitting this up. Let's see. I don't cover New Japan stuff here too much. Usually it's just wrestlers I like doing stuff in New Japan. But this does feel kind of fucking rad. Jon Moxley versus Naito is going to happen in America. I'm going to drink some water because woof. Yeah, they're going to be at Windy City Riot, which you can imagine is a show in Chicago. Tetsuya Naito is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. I do not expect Jon Moxley to win the World Heavyweight Championship for New Japan. But I do think that it will be a fucking cool-ass match. And my only hope is that we get here to play Naito and not wearing his own t-shirt, just kind of hanging out, doing whatevs, Naito. Ooh, there's a piece I didn't put on here yet. Folks, I missed like 2 pieces here. Wow, fuck me. There's so much going on with his head that I didn't even notice. I was like, this doesn't look finished. I'm panel lining this part, but it doesn't look finished here. That's because I'm missing some pieces. But yeah, Moxley versus Naito. That was going real good. They wrestled in 2019, but that was part of the G1, so it's been a while. Let's see. Any other news? And New Japan Pro Wrestling also saw the debut of Jack Perry, who you may know as he used to wrestle under the gimmick Jungle Boy, and then he was Jungle Boy Jack Perry as he started leaning into his real name. He is the son of 90210's Luke Perry. For real, that's a shoot thing. He is the late Luke Perry's son. He got in some hot water. He is currently, or seemingly was suspended from AEW for a backstage altercation that finally led to the ousting of one CM Punk. And he has not been back on AEW television since the summer. But he appeared. He ripped up a contract because it's all storyline and who the fuck cares. But he ripped the contract and then gave a sneak attack to Shota Umino. And that's weird and kind of cool cool for Jack to be doing some stuff there. That we'll see if they acknowledge it on AEW or it's just a thing that happens there. Um, you know, physical altercations, not great. But also, it's allowing people to just lose their minds. People that, like, I can't tell if they seriously think that he's, like, doing this for real and he quit AEW and New Japan is letting him get weird with it, or he went on his own and his promo wasn't scripted. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, New Japan and AEW have a working relationship. This is like not, what are we doing here? Like, no, they didn't. It's like, no, he ripped the contract because that's funny. It's a funny storyline. It's not fucking going rogue, doing his own thing. And like, no, Japan doesn't want that. What are we talking about? But it is funny. So Okada showed up. Kazuchika Okada showed up in Vegas for a taping for TNA, formerly Impact, formerly TNA once again. Okada went and was part of TNA for a time in what now we look back at as very sad, and at the time we thought of kind of weird. Okada, who like wasn't really hitting it in New Japan, wasn't seasoned, but like clearly had talent. Shows up and he's a green guy, but he can wrestle his ass off, and he'll do well in Impact or TNA, and it won't be meaningful, but it'll be something, and everyone's just like, oh yeah, that'll be good. And then they gave him a masked gimmick. They made him like a Green Lantern Green Hornet sidekick kind of character. And it was just like a racist caricature of a Japanese person. And not good at all. And then they were like, oh yeah, well, we had Okada. And it's like, yeah, what did you do with Okada? For years, it was just like, oh, that sucks. So him coming back to even do a one-off or a couple dates is kind of amazing. And he's like, oh, I never hated TNA. He now looks back on it, apparently, as, oh, well, yeah, doing badly there made it, when I came back to Japan, made me appreciate being in Japan. And also, I knew I had to work harder to be undeniable. And it's just like, okay. I mean, if that's true, that's great. But I really did a shit job with you. So, all right. Also, he has trademarked in the United States the trademark for Rainmaker in use in professional wrestling and entertainment. So that is interesting. That leads to the belief that he is going to sign. When his New Japan deal is up, he's going to sign with AEW because he could own a trademark for that and it'll be fine. Whereas if he was going to the WWE, he wouldn't be doing the trademark. They would be doing trademark stuff. Or he's doing it as part of his negotiations for the WWE. I don't know. AEW makes the most sense, but it's also a very crowded company. And who knows how they'd push him. But he also could do other things in other places and handshake deals for things. So who knows? All right, we're going to clean this all up here. This thing's looking rad, and the black, as I thought it would, the black marker here, the panel lining, is just kind of helping to make certain sections pop. It's looking real good with a little bit of marker, so I'm very pleased with how this is coming together already. It's just looking real good. See that like that. It's looking real neat. All right, so now that's the head. Now we got to move on to the neck. The neck needs building. Okay, how long do you want this wire to be? What? I got a wire here, and it's like cut before use. It wants to be. They want this wire to be 105 millimeters, and it gives me like a ruler. Because I got this really long wire here. Well, it's like, why? Hey, this is my question. Why did you give me this long? Just give me the wire that you want to be the length of it. Like, what are we doing here? What? It says, cut the wire before use. But how do I know how long I want the wire to be? Yeah, like, how long do you want? Like, so they want this wire to be this long, I think. And maybe I'm going to use this wire for other things. I'm pretty sure they want it to be here because they give this little marker. So I'm going to cut the wire this long and assume that's how long it needs to be. But then, like, there might be other parts in here where I need a wire again. Yes, there's a tail wire. Okay, so just do 2 wires, right? Am I wrong here? Am I being ridiculous to say just do 2 wires? Don't give me and then they're like, cut before what? And this one wants 255 millimeters long. What the fuck? Because this one is, I'm gonna build a tail, and then I'm going to like bend it over and like that. But just give me like the one long wire. Why or 2 long wires? Why give you just one and have one to cut it? So I want that. Is that, what is 105 millimeters long? $105 millimeter, or how? How long? Yeah, and of course, 105 millimeter is a howitzer round, and that's all I'm getting here. I'm just getting 105 millimeter. How big is it? Or how long is it? How far will the 105 millimeter howitzer shoot? How long is a 105 round? Fuck. That's 10.5 centimeters, yeah. Well, you can see, so I guess that's 10.5 centimeters is this length here. There is no length of 255. They don't give me a ruler for the tail. They give me a ruler for the neck, apparently, and the body does not need a cable. Yeah, this is annoying, I will say. Yeah. It's on the center of the page. It took me a while to find that too. I guess the rest is the right length for the tail. Yeah. I guess so. Yeah, so that's there, and that's going to tell me how long they want that to be. But then when I look at the next page for tail, oh, here it is. You're right. It is on the side of the page. It's here. It's the length of the page. Thank you, Lord Crashington. I did not notice this. I would not have noticed this without your help. So the length they want for that side is this. That's how long they want the side to go there. All right, so yeah, you use the rest of the tail, I guess, yeah. We'll do this now before we take our pause for the cause because I'm only going to do so many steps before I have to cut this wire. So let's cut this wire this length here. We'll do the first length here, which is this to that. I was wondering why they wouldn't show the other length. But yeah, they just put it on the edge. Yes, thank you, Lord Crashington. I eventually probably would have seen that, but it would have taken a while. All right, so that's maybe like a hair too long, but whatever. And then this is... And then this is extra that hopefully we won't need to jury rig something. And this is a hair extra. Also, I wouldn't trust this printed ruler when he's a real one. Well, Lord Crashing, that's not going to happen. So don't worry about it. We're not going to do that. We're going to use the printed ruler. That is on deaf ears. All right, that should be the right length. We'll see. Hopefully, that's the right length. Cut the wire before use. Yeah. There. Because this is going to be the neck, so it's just going to go through and bend at a certain point, and then connect through all those pieces, and then... That doesn't look right, so it must just be going through one. Yeah. No, yeah, it bends. I don't know. I'm going by what it says here. But when I look at that, that doesn't look like it's going to be long enough for the neck. But the neck is not, this is not to scale. The neck should probably be smaller. So whatever, we're going to figure it out. Is this the first time you've had to cut some wire for a kit? So Lord Crashington, usually for a kit, you get wire and it just says cut it to whatever length you want. Like, because it's for an effects part, not for the structural integrity of the neck or tail. Usually it is for like the some kind of particle effect. The wire is meant for like, oh, it's so you can have this floating piece that is attached to it, or like the a segment of a weapon that can be detached has the wire, so you can scroll it back in there, like an antenna. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, as John says, done for vibes, not for actual building. This is weird because this is like, hey, use this wire for the neck structure, and this is how the pieces are going to connect, because they don't look like they fully connect. They do kind of connect, but this would like keep it together, I guess. I don't know. It seems weird. We'll figure it out. We'll do our best with it, friends. After the pause for the cause, we will endeavor to make this make sense after our pause for the cause. We'll go over here and we're going to go to this. I'm going to lean back a little bit because I'm back is bothering me a little bit for the many hours I spent outside doing yard work. Now is the time for the pause for the cause. This is my opportunity to talk to you all about ways you can support the channel and what I do here. I'm going to literally lean back here. Oops, that didn't work. Try to adjust this so that I can relax a little bit here. Yes, I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm going to be talking to you about here is optional. These are all things you could do. You don't have to do, but if you would like to do them, it would be great. First and foremost, if you're currently a subscriber to the Build With Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue Emote in chat. Being a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or your Prime Gaming token. It would be great if you wanted to do that. You don't see ads. You don't see pre-roll ads or during the stream ads or anything like that. It helps me out quite a bit. So if you wanted to become a subscriber, you could do that. You could also gift a sub. We haven't had any gifted subs this month if you want to gift someone anonymously or take credit. Yes, subs do not get ads. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to cheer, you could join Harold on the cheerleader board. If you want to be a cheerleader, you could do that. John just gifted a sub to Faded Oasis. Thank you so much, John, for that. Round of applause. Thank you so much, John, for gifting a sub to the community. That's your 29th gifted sub. That's rad. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. You're now the top of the gift sub leaderboard. It's cool. Let's see. Other things. Oh, so through Patreon, easiest way to support what I do here. There are other ways to support me. You could jump in onto, where are we going here? My Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. The $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for different tiers. Consider joining me on Patreon. Tomorrow, my Patreon, before anybody else, is going to get my schedule for the rest of the month, so you'll know when I'm streaming. It slightly changes to some stuff, like what I'm doing on those streams, and also there is a Saturday where I'm not streaming because I'm going to watch the Royal Rumble. And then the following Tuesday, I'm going to stream for a very long time. So I'm just going to take a stream off. Pat taking a stream off already in the year? Yes. It's very rare. But that'll happen. youtube.com/PatBear. $1. Sorry, well, not $1. There's a $2 membership over there. Subscribing is obviously free. You can subscribe if you want over on my YouTube channel. But if you wanted to become a member for just $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos a day early. And tomorrow's video is real good. And you'll see that tomorrow, and everybody else will see it on Wednesday. And it's a good one. So take a look at that. Those are monthly ways to support me. There's also one-time donations if you want to throw something at my PayPal. Yes, break. If you want to throw something at my PayPal or my Ko-Fi. Everything I make through direct donations through YouTube, which includes AdSense, so watching my videos helps me, through Patreon and through Twitch, goes into a fund, and I take money out of that fund, and I buy model kits with that. The last kit I finished, Char Zaku 2, V2, that came out of your funds. You in the past helped present me buy that kit. The Blue Eyes White Dragon came from gift cards that I received, but a little bit of money from the funds because it needed a little bit more to go over. Now, I have a backlog. I'd be happy to build from that backlog. I buy stuff I want to build. I don't buy stuff I'm not interested in. But if you want to decide what I build next, then you could go to my Amazon wish list and buy something there, because anything bought on my wish list jumps the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. And I make a dedicated video on my YouTube about said thing. It's called a mailbag video. I've got model kits. I got inexpensive kits. I got expensive kits. I got kits that are never on sale, kits that are on sale quite a bit. Some high grades, master grades, Lego sets, all kinds of different things that I would be thrilled to build on stream. Some old stuff, some weird stuff. Like maybe you want me to build Hyper Gyanko, which is like kind of a model kit, but I mean, it looks like it looks like parts of a model kit put on a lady. So maybe you want me to build that. Instead of the Gyan, it's Hyper Gyanko. A bunch of different things that I'd be happy to build, and some expensive kits as well on the list if you want to get buck fucking wild with it. And then I got gear at the bottom, because maybe you're just like, I don't know, Pat, have a backup pair of snipper clips. So in case your clips break on stream, you don't have to use wire cutters. You can just use the other ones. You just have to go and get those. Here, get these, Pat. You could do that if you wanted to. Also, obviously, you don't have to do any of that stuff, but it's neat if you wanted to do it. It would be cool. Also on my wish list, I just want to point out that I do have the only kit. Wait, did that get bought? No, it's right there. The Wish for Mercury gun Volva. The Gun Volva is the only Wish for Mercury kit so far that I haven't built in the high grade. So if you want to get that, also then I would have to say Gun Volva for 2 to 3 streams. So everybody would win. My alternative to Amazon is my Throne wish list. Jump in on that Throne wish list if you want to buy me something to build and not use Amazon. And if you want the most convoluted way possible to support me, go to USA Gundam Store. Buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. Then You get an email with the gift card code. You send me a whisper on Twitch or a DM on Twitter, because my DMs are open, with that gift card code, and I use that to buy a model kit from USA Gundam Store. Again, the most convoluted way to help me out if you want to do that. If you want to support me without spending any money, check out my Discord. I have a lovely little Discord. You're more than welcome to come hang out there. Great folks in there. It's fairly chill, but also pretty cool. Let's see. Other things for you to check out. Hold on one second. Couple of video links for you to check out. It's a new episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, everybody. I got a new episode up. Please check out my new episode if you haven't. This episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club is about the wonderful world of all of the isekai that are out this season. There are 10 new and returning isekai this season. And if you want to know what to watch, I'll tell you what I'm watching, what I'm going to watch, what I'm not going to watch, what I might watch. And then Kuma Bear, your weekly anime recommendation, my weekly series where I recommend some anime. I'm talking on this episode about Frieren. It's under a minute. Take a look at it. If you've been curious about Frieren, maybe I can convince you in a minute to check it out. I have this Pat Bear's Anime Club. I will have a Pat Bear's Anime Club bonus coming out. I want to say Thursday it'll come out because that's when voting happens. Yes, Wednesday. It'll go out on Wednesday. Frieren is great. Wednesday, January 17th. So in 2 days, I'm going to put up another episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club because voting for the Crunchyroll Awards only lasts a week and a half. So I could have been late on this Pat Bear's Anime Club. I could have been late on it. But instead of waiting till Wednesday and making that the one, I'm just going to do a bonus one that kind of expires in relevancy anyway on the 27th. So I'll also, the results, they're going to do a show in Tokyo on March 2nd. So once again, I cannot live stream the Anime Awards unless they do it at a weird time in Tokyo, which I guess they could. Most likely they will do it at a time where I do not want to be awake watching the Anime Awards. So I'll have to do like an Anime Awards wrap-up episode. That'll probably be the episode that that'll be in March. So sometime in March. Look ahead. I'll do an episode on that at some point, going over the results of the Anime Awards. But yeah, I'll do a special voters thing for that because some people like to hear my thoughts on it. And one of my favorite things we get to do is we get to see what's been nominated for, what happened here? Looks like we're back. Okay. Had a blip there where all of a sudden my internet connection was like, you're off. You seem to be offline, but I didn't get a ping saying I was disconnected. So I think that was just on my end. Sorry, everybody. Sorry about that. But it looks like we're good. Anyway, yeah. I like knowing like what anime is finally getting dubbed into various languages, because it'll always be something where it's like Diamond's Unbreakable is being nominated, and you're like, fuck yeah, it is. Great. Hell yeah. It's like early, like 3 arcs ago, One Piece is being dubbed into like Castilian, and you're like, fuck yeah. I hope that's great. I don't know. I love that shit. All right. So what's going to happen is I'm going to talk about some manga. Then I'm going to talk about some anime. That's going to be in the second hour. Then we'll end by talking about some video games, as is our way. But before I do that, I mean, obviously I get this mic fixed, but then I also need to dramatically transition to the overhead camera and drink some water. So we got to do that too. And in order to do that, I'm going to hit this button right now. Oh. And John wants me to hit the dance button. I will hit the dance button. Here is the getting ready to talk about manga dance button. Oh yeah. Getting ready to do this. Gonna move my body a little bit in this chair. There's not much wiggle to this chair because it's a heavy chair. So I can move my body. I move my hips a little bit, and then nothing really happens because it's a high quality chair. All right, we'll put that there, and then we need two. There's some undergate. Oh, our first undergating is coming. When that happens, there, we got ourselves some undergating. We need 3 of those, and then this is okay. So let's go like that. We'll go like that. Cut the wire before use. Got to feed that wire through and bend that wire. And that's going to go in A17, A14. And then A20 is going to fit between these 3 here. Okay. But what happens to that piece there? What piece is that? That's that. Oh, that's 1. Okay. That's going to be the end of this piece that it connects to. Okay. Hopefully, this is all going to fucking work out. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I might get real frustrated with this. I hope I don't. I hope this is fucking rad and just works really well and looks cool as hell. That's my hope. That is my hope. So, let's talk about some manga, shall we? Let's talk about lifestyle magic is not a worthless skill. All right, so, is this an isekai? No, I don't think it is. I'll explain. So, our main character, it is definitely a reincarnation story. Our main character has had 2 previous lives. This is his 3rd life. And in one life, he was in this world, and he was the sage. He was the great sage. And it's very clear through the story that he has had some regrets of that life. He was able to help people, but he wasn't able to travel and see the world. He was like, he constantly was helping people, and he was happy to help people, but he definitely felt at a certain point, he definitely felt restricted in that life. And then he had another life. Now, that other life could have been in an Earth world, but it has not been presented as such. So I am forced to say that at least right now, I can say this is not an isekai. But what it is a reincarnation story. As I said, our main character is part of a dukedom. The head of the dukedom, his father, is like, get out of here. Your magic is worthless. Get the fuck out of here. Your half-brother, of course, step-brother, I should say, is going to become the next duke in line. We're a military family. There's no point in having, even though the father isn't a military person, there's no point in having a son like you who doesn't have any, powers and abilities for war. What are we doing here? Your lifestyle magic, worthless. What are we doing with this? It's not powerful. So because this is an anime, or a manga, I should say, at this point, you all know, oh, he's really strong, huh? Yeah, because he has lifestyle magic, but it's not you don't kick your son out like that because he's brilliant and everyone loves him and he's very smart. And so this seems like a weird power move that people immediately are not on board with when they find out. But 2, he doesn't necessarily have typical lifestyle magic. He has creation magic, which he has kept somewhat quiet about because he just wanted to kind of lay a little low on it. But yeah, he's blessed by the creation god. And he has unbelievably powerful magic and can do alchemy. No, Death Strike. I won't be talking about that series, so you did not miss it. So don't worry. Everything's okay. Not my thing. So I do appreciate it, for pulling a bait and switch. I can appreciate bait and switches in modern anime. It's hard to do that. It takes some guts to do that. But I wasn't interested in what it was telling me it was, and I'm not super interested in what it actually is. So it's a kind of a zero sum. I'm interested in only in the fact that it was like, hey, this is what the show's about. Psych. It's not that. So beyond that, not really my jam. So I won't be covering it. But I do appreciate that they got weird with it. Because I do appreciate, going for that, going for the old bait and switch. In the same way I appreciated Higurashi When They Cry having a remake, and then turns out this is not a remake. This is like a sequel series that is like a redo of the first one, because at least one character in the show knows that this is everyone has regressed in time and is reliving this thing, but then things change. Now, if you had read the visual novels, you would know about this, and so it wouldn't be that much of a shock. But if you only hung out in the world of Higurashi When They Cry, because you watched the anime and you haven't kept up with anything else, it was being presented as a remake, and then it turns out it wasn't a remake. And I think that's fucking cool. We don't get that a lot. This is only a couple years ago they did that. So we don't get that a lot. So I do appreciate the fact that Bang Bravern was like, we're doing this, and they were like, actually it's different. Like, yeah, I like that. Even if I'm not going to engage with it at all, I can at least appreciate it. All right, I think I'm building this neck correctly. We'll find out when I start trying to assemble the neck if I have done this properly or not. But I think this is how this neck's going to go, and then I got to do 820 in between each of these. So we'll do that, and then of course I got to start assembling the part with the wires. So going back to lifestyle magic is not a worthless skill. So our main character has creation magic, and given to him by the most powerful god. Kind of keeps that he kind of keeps that close to his chest because he wants to be. Here's the thing: he got kicked out of the dukedom, got stripped of his title. He didn't want that title. He didn't want to become the next duke. He wants to become an adventurer. He is a very strong person, but didn't in his previous lives get to travel much. So now he's like, ooh, I can travel around. I can help people. This is fun. He kills a dragon. Pretty easily kills a dragon. And then he goes to the guild because he's like, hey. He doesn't say, hey, I want to sell dragon parts. He goes to the guild and says, so an easy thing, Death Strike, to see is, this is purple. This is purple. And this is blue. The tongue is definitely purple, and the eyes are not the same color as tongue. So while the photo may not be that clear, when you look this closely, you should be able to see that the mouth and the tongue very purple, and the eyes are pretty damn blue. Now the eyes aren't strikingly blue; they're like a navy blue, but they are blue eyes. Let's see. So yeah, he kills a dragon. He goes to the guild and says like, hey, I'm signing up to be an adventurer. Here you go. Okay. I see that there is a dragon quest. I'd like to take that quest. And the guild is like, no. They shouldn't be turning down anyone. But they're like, yeah, no. Newbies keep thinking they could defeat a dragon. You're just going to die, so we're not going to let you do that. And he's like, okay. Fine. And then he leaves and he goes to just sell that quest. Where he just goes to sell the materials, and of course, they get mad at him for doing that. They're very unhappy with him for selling those dragon materials, and then it ends up working out okay. But he has, I mean, that's like the biggest problem our main character has pretty much right away. Um, let's see. He kills a dragon. He sets up a clinic to offer medicine and doctor services for commoners. Because he's also like, oh, it's a good way to meet people and get adventures going is to help people out like this. He gets a cheap house to rent and it's cheap because there are a plethora of monsters and such that he has to. Or sorry, it's haunted. People died there tragically, and they're haunting the place. And he's just like, okay, I'll fix it. So he tames the spirits, and now they work for him. It's just like, yeah, like it's pretty easy going in many ways. This particular series, he saves a bunch of people from an epidemic. The church gets mad with him and tries to fuck with him, and then the king is just like, yeah, no, we're siding with this dude. The Duke, finding out that he is stealing valor from them, tries to hire assassins to go after him. Those assassins fail, and he ends up taking over the assassin. He kills a bunch of the assassins, and then it leads him to finding out that the leader of this assassin group is running it so that she can pay for an orphanage. So he's just like, okay, well, I know where these orphan kids can go. My place. And he ends up taking care of a bunch of orphans. Let's see. And then also where I've left off in the manga, he is currently dealing with somebody is poisoning high-ranking nobles, and they were clearly trying it with borderland nobles. And it is very clear that this is somebody who, most likely it's somebody who is trying to get in good with nobility by curing the illnesses they themselves have caused. I think that's very clear. That's what's happening. So he's unraveling that. And yeah, this is power fantasy. This is an overpowered main character that has no equal and no issues really, that, you know, is running into some conflicts, but it's not a big deal. And you know, it's that thing of like, oh, look, another organization is trying to fuck with him. That's going to go real poor for them. That's going to be a big old problem. They're trying really hard to fuck around, and they are about to find out. All right, so we got this wire bent. This theoretically will be enough wire. And then we're just going to... And we'll panel line this once this is done. Now we're going to talk about some anime that I've been watching. Lifestyle Magic is not worth with skill. Totally fine. Totally fine manga. Easy reading. Pretty breezy. I didn't mention Val, the dark elf that we later learn is like clearly used to be a monster. Like really strong and like fearsome. That has kind of settled down to just be a maid. They have a fine enough relationship. It is very clear that they're interested in one another, and that's nice, I guess. It's not particularly creepy, which is great. It could get creepy. I don't know. We'll see. So our two anime that I want to chat with you about are... okay, so this immediately doesn't look right. This immediately looks like I did this wrong. Okay. Good to know. Now... Yeah, because it would want to go like this. So this has to be like that. See, that doesn't look right. Okay. Oh no, that is right. All right. Okay, yeah, that does look right. Okay, so this is how this is supposed to, these are how the neck is supposed to go together. I can now hopefully assemble this correctly. And I just have to go through and make sure that I have done this. I don't think I did these parts right. So let's go like that. I did this one right. Okay, so that goes like that. That goes like that. But then in between each of these goes these short ones here to connect it. Strongest tanks labyrinth raids. We found out in the first episode. This is the second episode. The first episode just set up the world, set up their character. Our main guy, Rudd. He was part of the hero's party. He was the tank. He started noticing that sometimes he wasn't, like, his powers would fade sometimes, and nobody was quite sure what was going on. But he got kicked out because they were like, "You're a bad tank. You're not doing a good job." He meets a girl named that he ends up naming Luna. She is a former slave. She's a homunculus. She has the legendary ability appraisal. This world, not many people have appraisal. And she goes, I can tell you what your hidden skills are. You absorb damage done by the party, and then you can convert that into an attack force, which he didn't know he could convert into attack. So the issue he was constantly having, in his previous party was they weren't trying. He was just absorbing all their damage and using up all of his, because they never tried to dodge anything or use it smartly. They didn't get hurt because he was absorbing all of the damage for them, and they had no idea that was happening. So once, and now obviously it's going to be rough for them because they're suddenly going to do bad and not know why. We know why. All right, so I need to pull these wires through here. Let's see if I can. Okay, I think that'll work. And then in the end, it wants me to just kind of bend these wires here. Oh, we're dropping some frames again. My apologies to everyone. All right. I think that's going to work out. Rudd has been, the only reason he was doing that job was to help pay for medical care for his sister, who is very sickly. Manacea. So when he arrives to his hometown to see her, and to bring along Luna, he meets up with his friends, a blacksmith trainee, and the sub-captain of the village guard. Because, yeah, they stuck around and they have jobs in the village where he went out to go be an adventurer. Apparently, his sister is feeling better, which is really nice. And she immediately gets along well with Luna, which is great. Luna picks up cooking after only 3 days, and she's a great quick study, which is nice. Rudd meets with one of his friends and her dad to forge him a new sword because his sword got taken when he got kicked out of the hero's party, so he needs a new one. And then we also meet an apothecary named Granny Gee, who is taking care of his sister's illness. And then Luna is just like, there's so many nice people here. I don't want to keep secrets from you. I'm a homunculus, and I was made to be for battle from a different country. And Rudd is like, I knew that. I figured that out pretty quickly. Sorry, we didn't say anything, but that's okay. Luna decides she's going to live as a human, which hopefully will not backfire, and is pretty cool for right now. And then Rudd fights against the village, the vice captain of the village, because now he knows what his powers are. And using life conversion, he can attack, he can take damage, and he can use that damage that he's stacked so he can actually attack. Because he's never been able to attack before. He was just focusing on defending. He can now use the damage that he's absorbed to attack. And that's fucking very strong. So he's like, maybe I can make a go of doing some damage. Like uh, maybe I can make a go of doing the dungeon thing again. Um, then we got some Manassia has his sister has some moments. We get a little bit of knowledge about her and what her deal is, and basically, they are brother and sister, and she's been sickly, and her parents decided they were going to abandon her, and instead, Rudd left with her and kind of basically abandoned them to stick around, and she's incredibly guilty about that. Because she feels like she has been holding him back. And that's going to be a worry that continues for several episodes. As someone that has read the manga, I can tell you this fear does not, does not just go away immediately. It takes a little while. The fight scene was really fun. It's cool to see him kind of figure out his powers. This is a kicked from the party kind of story where the main character, it wasn't just that like nobody understood what he was doing and they let go somebody great. He also didn't quite understand what his own abilities were, which is interesting. I find that to be interesting. And cool perspective. A fun little twist on the kicked style storyline. This feels a little loose. It feels a little loosey-goosey. I think I did this right, but I think I just need to bend the neck and it won't feel that loose. And then maybe once connected, it won't feel that bad. But I will say, this whole wire thing does not make me feel great about this build so far. It does fucking look great, though. I'll say that. And then this ends with a polycap. The end here ends with polycap 7. So put that on there. And I guess we can find out. We're going to move on to the body, but I want to see... Yeah. We might as well just connect the head here to the neck. There we go. Oh, yeah, that looks fucking... I will say, it looks fucking rad. Look at that shit. Shit looks awesome. This is going to be a good looking kit when it's done. And yeah, this is a little loose here, but I think once it's all together, it will be fine. All right, so now that we got the neck done, we can move on to the body. And we can also move on to Fluffy Paradise, episode 3? Yes, episode 3 of Fluffy Paradise. Oh, this is a soothing show. If you want just like a chill show to watch, my chill recommendation of the season is Fluffy Paradise. Because the vibes are just so fucking good. Such good vibes on this one. Okay, so Nema's made last episode. Nema made a contract with a dragon. Dragon's gonna the one of the most important dragons in the world. Is like, yeah, we'll do a full contract when you're old enough. But here's a way to communicate with other dragons. She made friends with a bunch of dragons. The royal family and the kingdom have a bunch of holy beasts in their employment. She made friends with all of the dragons that work there previously. Today, she is meeting Leston Ogma, who is captain of the Royal Beast Knight Legions, which is different. The Royal Beast Knight Legions, which is different from the dragons. Dragons are separate, and all the other beasts they use, he's in charge of. And he's like this girl is just a charmer. Like, these adults don't have any backbone. They're just seeing this girl and they're thinking that he's just skeptical that she can like communicate with beasts, and someone like a dragon made a contract with her. He's just like, yeah, sure thing, buddy. Like, nah, that probably didn't happen. Don't worry about that. Even though we know that shit did happen. But he comes around pretty easily because they're the leader of the horses who apparently like acts out a lot. And he's just like, yeah, he just acts out. And she's like, no, he doesn't. He's not acting out. He's trying to protect the other horses from unwanted, like people nosing around. She makes friends with horses, magical horses, of course. A bunch of birds that are like ostriches, but they are run very fast. But they're, obviously magical birds. She makes friends with a bunch of those birds. Messenger birds, some different like hawks that seem cool, and also a creature they call the white moose, which does not look like a moose at all. Is white. It looks kind of like a little bit more like a reindeer or a unicorn, but they call it a white moose. And apparently the white moose got out, and everyone's freaked out about it because they're like, we have no idea where this is. And a scene we don't see, suddenly, apparently she found this moose and brought it back to the area because she just got along with it, no problem. And again, it did not look like a moose to me. I might have missed something. It might have been an odd translation. A white moose might be something in Japanese mythology that I don't know, or another mythology I don't know. But I will say I was like, what? Okay, sure. Anyway, she makes friends. It's very cute with all these different animals. It's pretty fucking rad. All right. B8 and B7 here. Gotta get B8 and B7 together. Then it's her birthday a couple days later. So she's going into a town with her sister and a servant named Paul, and she's allowed to go on a shopping trip. And they eat really good looking food and all hang out, and there's more opportunity for her to be cute and nice. And she's like, hey, big sis, tell me about money. She learns what the denominations are so that she can order some food and just be pretty rad and pretty cute. It is a fun little part of the episode. But she's out of she's out of the house so that they can plan and throw a surprise birthday party. And everyone's there. It's all the captains that we've met before. The king and queen come, and the prince show up, and of course family and some friends. And everybody gives her a bunch of presents. She gets like a warding, something that kind of ward off danger and various means to protect her and protect herself. And then also she gets a Paul, who we just met in this episode, gives her a study materials because he wants her to do well in school. And then also there's a little small scene where some bratty nobles try to be mean to Nema's sister, and then Nema's just like, you don't acknowledge her? Well, I don't need to worry about people that can't acknowledge the greatness of my sister. Like the king and queen acknowledge her. So she's just, she shuts him down, which is fun. Anyway, they get a lot of presents, and the last present that is given to her is, look, a messenger hawk is too big, right? But what about a baby rain hawk that can be her companion? So she's gifted a bird that is very cute and just cheaps right now, but eventually will probably do more. And that bird is named Nox, and it's very cute. And now she's got a little bird friend, and that's great. Also, when they went shopping, she was riding on her dog, and that rules. She's got a big dog that she uses as transportation. Again, Fluffy Paradise. Is it the most dramatic show this season? No. Is it a lot of fun? Fuck yeah, it is. It's real fun. I would recommend it if you're looking to pick up something that is an easy, enjoyable watch. I'm sure at some point things will get a little weird or maybe dramatic. I don't think it'll get that dramatic, but it might. Who knows? But it's an easy recommendation at the moment anyway, of something that just like seems very cool. All right, then we got to pop that into that, snap that in place. These three pieces have been put together, and then kind of panel lined as I go here because it'll be easier. And again, these panels don't, they don't need too much ink, but it is nice. We got a few minutes left in the stream. I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching? What are you playing right now? You doing anything gaming wise? You watching any TV? Do you have on another monitor? Football or the Emmys or whatever. Let me know what you're up to. I should just say, I'm playing Hearthstone. I'm doing that. I've got a warrior excavation deck that is a standard deck that I basically just win by having way too much fucking armor and then my opponent not being able to deal with all of the armor and removal tools I have. It's not like the best deck I've ever used, but I'm liking it right now. It's fun for me. And then I fucked up, friends. I don't know what happened. In Persona 4 Golden with mods, I played through the second game and I thought I did everything right. I thought I beat every optional boss. I thought I did, I saved, Marie. I did all of the dungeons that I was supposed to do and did all of the bonus stuff that I was supposed to do because there's always a bonus thing. Apparently, even though there's not an extra thing in heaven, the place where you go and save Nanako, I had to go back there, apparently, and run it again. And because I didn't run it again, I can't do the super secret bonus Margaret challenge at the end of the second playthrough of Persona 4 Golden. I fucked up. I did not realize that I was fucking up. And I don't have a save that is back long enough to go there. So I think I might be able to fix it. I'm going to copy my save so that I don't fuck it up. I'm going to basically copy it and then edit that save with my save tool. But I believe I can change the date on the save, and I might be able to go back on the save. Yeah, I can change the calendar date. And so I think I can change the calendar date to go back far enough to fuck around yeah, so that's what I think. I think I can go back far enough to do that dungeon, the dungeon the second time that I didn't do. And I think if I do that, I can then go into Margaret's, because I didn't get the invitation. I'm supposed to get the invitation, and I didn't. And I think that's the thing I didn't do. And if that's not the case, if editing the save doesn't work, and I can't go back in time on the edit, if that doesn't work, then it's not the worst thing in the world. I did have a plan for my subathon, which my subathon is going to be January 30th. I did have a plan for along the way to 150 subs. My plan was to show off that dungeon and show off some mods and all that. But I have to find out. I think tomorrow I'll have some time to dick around to see if I can make that happen. And again, I don't know if it'll work, but I'm going to try it. All right, so this should lock into that. Why don't you want to do that? That's weird. You want to do that doesn't seem right. All right, I think I connected these pieces wrong. John says, just staying caught up on Frieren and finishing Violet Evergarden tonight. Nice. Enjoy your Violet Evergarden. I mean, enjoy is the... I guess, yeah, have fun doesn't work for that. enjoy feels weird to say. Treasure your time with Violet Evergarden. Maybe that's the right way to say it. Enjoy the ride, I guess. It's a lovely series. I'm glad you're watching it. Oh yeah, if anybody else has anything they're watching or playing or doing, feel free to let me know in the chat. And just says they did a thing at the end of episode 10 that I thought they would make a good ending, but they kept going. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that is a valid way to look at that. That could have been the close, but they were like, no, what if we did this? Did some other stuff. And I think it's better for it, but also I understand your point of view. All right, we'll do that. So we've done parts 1 and 2 together. Getting those together. And then we need to do what will be the end part here. And then we have to, yeah, so that's going to go like that. That's going to go like that. And then that's the tail. Tail connects. So this is going to go here. Is that right? Am I doing this correct? Sorry, everybody. Hold on. Yeah, that's the neck part there, and that connects there. And then, oh no, yeah, that goes there. And then this goes, here's the body. And then small piece, yeah, okay. Yes, all right, that looks right. Okay. Yeah, that looks cool. This is looking pretty cool. Aristvan says, I have Monday commitment for the next few months, so I'm just dropping in. That dragon looks awesome. The color is very shiny. It is, Aristvan. Well, you know, I hope the obligations go well. You know, we always love having you here, so thanks for stopping in. Appreciate that. And Lord Crashing says, started watching The Last of Us Blu-ray I got during Black Friday, which has some neat changes that still work, like the creepy fungus tendrils that come out of the zombies' mouths. Okay, cool. So we still need to do step 3 here. We'll do step 3. But I just connected, so I had something to look at here. But we are going to wrap up tonight's stream. I will say, as we get ready to go raid, because that is how we end every stream around here. We always end with a raid. We're going to go find someone doing some cool shit out there and go give them some love and spend some time with them. My next stream is tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. I am immediately returning to PC Building Simulator 2. Back-to-back streams because I had so much fun. I just had such a good time. Mary Kish is taking the night off for the last day of her break, but she'll be streaming tomorrow. Okay, we might be able to raid her tomorrow then. Thank you, Lord Crashton, for that update. I didn't see her on the list, so yeah. How long has Ray been? Jordan has only been streaming for an hour, so we're going to raid Jordan, also known as Ray FK. But yeah, I had such a good time with PC Building Simulator 2 that I was like, I want to play that some more. Like, I just had such a good time that I was like, well, we have to do more of that. So we are going to do more of that tomorrow. We're going to pick up right where I left off. I have played nothing since. I was like, ooh, I'm going to save this. So we'll check out PC Building Simulator 2 tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Please check that out. Come along on this raid. Ray is playing, or Ray FK, Jordan is playing, what you call it? Sorry. Terraria. And that's fun. We'll just check out. Jordan doesn't stream that much these days, so it's great to go hang out with Jordan, who is playing Terraria. We're going to go hang out and see what's up. Thanks so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I hope you hang out tomorrow, and thanks for hanging out tonight. And I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.